Chapter 17 God's Best Lawyer. After firing Alan Black, I felt alone in a way I hadn't felt since my conviction. What did I do now? Where did I turn? There was a bad joke that ran up and down the road, with guys repeating it all the time. What does capital punishment mean? It means a guy without capital gets punished. It wasn't funny, but it was true. It felt even truer now that I officially didn't have an attorney working on my appeal. I wondered how soon it would be before the courts found out I wasn't represented. I feared getting an execution date more than anything else. I had asked one of the guards as he was making rounds if he could give me a phone number. What number you need, he asked. I need to talk to your wife. She is sending you to work with some suspicious looking lunch meat, and I want to ask her why she's trying to kill you. I'm trying to save your life. He laughed. Who are you trying to call? I have the yellow pages in the office. I would appreciate it if you could give me the number and the address for Equal Justice Initiative in Montgomery. He cocked his head to the side and stared at me for a moment. You trying to get a hold of Brian Stevenson? I nodded. The guard smiled at me. Hope that works out for you, Ray. I do. I do not like the other guys in here. You're not like the other guys in here. We're all the same in here, not in my opinion. I have his number. I'll bring it to you later on. He walked on. I sat on my bed to write a letter. Hello, Mr. Stevenson. My name is Anthony Ray Hinton, and I'm on Alabama death row. I would like to thank you for the lawyer from Boston. As you most likely know by now, it didn't work out. I know you're probably wanting to send a new lawyer, but I would like for you to be my lawyer. Please read my transcript, and if you can't find one thing that points to my guilt, then don't worry about being my lawyer. I will take the punishment that Alabama is seeking. I don't have any money to pay you for your time, but if you would come see me, I could pay you for your gas. I am an innocent man, and I would never kill anyone. I hope to hear from you soon. May the God who made us all continue to bless us all. Sincerely, Ray Hinton, Z468. When the guard brought me the address and phone number later that night, I put the letter in an envelope and carefully wrote out the address. I left it unsealed and wrote legal correspondence on the front. The guard would still read it. They read everything. The next day, when it was time to go in the yard, I went to use the phone instead. I called Equal Justice Initiative, or EDGI, as it was called for short, collect. A woman answered, and I waited until the recording told her it was an inmate calling collect from Holman Prison. She accepted the charges. I'd like to speak to Ryan Stevenson, I said. This is Anthony Ray Hinton from down at Holman Death Row. She had the kind of voice where you could hear a smile in it. Why, nice to meet you, Mr. Hinton. Please hold and I will get Mr. Stevenson on the line. Some generic hold music started playing, and I wondered how much it cost EDI to put collect calls on hold. I waited a few minutes, and then a man's voice came on the line. This is Brian Stevenson. He sounded rushed and hurried. Hello, Mr. Stevenson. This is Anthony Ray Hinton from Home and Death Row. Hello, he said, but it sounded more of a question. I want to thank you for sending Alan Black, but I would like to let you know that I had to fire him. There was silence on the other end and stretched out for what felt like minutes. You fired him? Yes, sir, I had to fire him. He asked me for $10,000. He wanted me to get money. He wanted to get my church to get him money. I don't have that kind of money. I'm so sorry, Mr. Stevenson. Let me call him and talk to him. I sent you a letter. I need you to read that letter. I don't want Alan Black to be my attorney. He's trying to get me life without parole. I can't do that. Do you understand? Will you read my letter? I know I only had a little bit of time before the phone cut off, so I rushed my words. Let me talk to him, and I will get a word to you. We'll figure this out. We'll figure out something. His voice sounded sincere, but I had been down this road with attorneys before. Just promise me you'll read my letter and consider it. Of course I promise. Months later, I received word that I had a legal visit. I walked slowly to the visiting area, and seated at a table was a black man, bald, who looked a little bit younger than I was. He was dressed in a suit and tie. I looked up to him, and he stood and gave me a wide smile. Mr. Hinton, I'm Brian Stevenson. He held out his hand to shake mine, and when I lifted my arm to extend my own hand, it almost felt like I was moving in slow motion. Mr. Stevenson, it's nice to meet you, I said. He grasped my hand in his, and we shook hands, and in that moment I felt a strength and compassion, and a hope so big it seemed to shoot out his hand and into mine. It was almost like an electric shock, and I gave him my best strong handshake back. I sat down at the table, and then I looked into his eyes, and it felt like I could take a deep breath for the first time in over 12 years. There are some people you meet, and you know they are going to change your life forever. Meeting Brian was like that. I looked at his face, and I saw compassion and kindness. He looked smart. He also looked tired. There were lines around his eyes and a sort of sadness in the creases. How are you? I asked. Well, I'm fine, thank you. How are you, Mr. Hinton? Everything going okay for you here? Any problems? You can call me Ray, I said. All right then, you can call me Brian. Thank you for coming to see me. It means a lot to me. I know you do a lot for the guys around here. He nodded. I talked to Alan Black. I'm sorry about that. Are you going to be my attorney? I asked. Is that why you're here? Right now, I'm just here to meet you and get to know you, just talk for a bit. I'd like to hear about your case and your trial and your family. He smiled at me, and I felt that same hope bloom in my heart. I knew he was sent by God. You know, when I was convicted, I told that courtroom that someday God was going to open my case again. Did you? Yes, I did, but I didn't know it was going to take so long. I've been here almost 12 years. I can't even believe I've been here so long. It's been hell. I can't even say the kind of hell it's been. Brian looked into my eyes, and I saw that he knew. He understood. He had been to executions here. He had lost people too. But today is a good day because today God sent me his best lawyer. Today is the day that God opened up my case. Brian laughed, and then he got quiet and said, "Tell me what happened." I'm innocent. I've never been violent in my life. I took a deep breath and continued. I needed this man. I needed this lawyer on my side. I knew it stronger than I had ever known anything. I needed him to believe me. I needed him to believe I was innocent. I made some mistakes. I drove off in a car that didn't belong to me. I wrote some checks, but I wrote them in my own name. I've made some mistakes. Sometimes I think God's punishing me for those mistakes. And other times I think God's got another plan for me, and that's why I'm here. I have a mother that loves me. She loves me more than any human deserves to be loved unconditionally. Do you know what that's like, unconditional love? Not many guys here knew that kind of love. A lot of them grew up without any kind of love at all. That hurts a man. It breaks him. It breaks him in ways that no person should be broken. You know what I mean? I do. Brian looked sad, but he was nodding at me. I was at work. I didn't try to rob and kill anyone. I was at work where a guard had to clock me in and clock me out. They told me it didn't matter, that it wasn't me. They told me that a white man was going to say that I did it, and that's all it would take. I was going to be guilty because I was going to have a white jury and a white judge and a white prosecutor. My defense attorney wasn't paid nothing. He couldn't get money from an expert. They took my mom's gun and said it was the gun that killed those men. My mom's gun hadn't been fired in 25 years. My expert only had one eye. I cried when he got off his stand. I knew they were going to find me guilty, but I didn't do it. I dated some sisters and people lied, and I've never hurt anyone in my life. A man called during the trial, said he was the one, but my attorney was mad. He woke him up. That guy knew things. I didn't know anything. I'd never hurt anyone. I didn't do it. I'm innocent, and they have me in here, and I can't get out. I'm suffocating in here. They're killing people. They're killing people right next to me. I have to smell my friends as they burn. Do you understand? I have to breathe in their deaths, and it never leaves, and they smell at you, but someday they're going to come for me too, and I'm innocent. I need to get home to my mom. She's not feeling good. She doesn't come to visit anymore. She needs me at home. I need to go back home. I'm innocent. I can't get out of here, and I'm innocent. It all came out in a rush, and Brian just sat there listening to every word. I didn't feel any doubt coming off him. He looked me in the eye the whole time. He asked me questions about my mom and about other family. I told him about Lester and how 12 years he had to come see me every day visiting. Came to see me every visiting day. Never missed a day. That was true friendship, and I told him that I wish everyone had a best friend like Lester. He asked me about my trial, who had testified at my sentencing. He seemed surprised that perhaps I hadn't put Lester or my mom or anybody from church on the stand when I was sentenced. He asked me some questions about work and had me walk him through clocking in the night of the Smotherman incident. We talked for over 2 hours. I felt comfortable with him. I asked him if he was an Auburn fan and told him that Alan Black was a Red Sox fan, and I should have known then it would never work out between us. I told him that after he got me out of here, we'd go to a Yankees game. He laughed. I asked him about his work. Did he have any family? I told him funny stories about the guards, and I told him about book club and how the warden would shut us down because some of the other guys were saying it wasn't fair that we got to go out to a book club and that everyone goes or no one goes. I told him we needed some fans on death row, that it was too hot in the summer to even breathe right. He listened to everything I said. He didn't seem in a rush to finish. He didn't interrupt me. He just listened. It was a powerful thing to be listened to like that. I have an idea about my case, I said. What is it? He asked. He leaned towards me like he was really interested. Well, I don't know if you're an attorney who doesn't like it if your client has ideas. I don't want to offend him or put him off. Right, he interrupted me. I want to hear every idea you have. We are a team. Along with my staff at EJI, we're going to do everything we can. I want to know what you're thinking every step of the way. I'm going to review your transcript closely. Any idea you have is important to me, no matter what it is. I smiled at him. This is what I want to hear. I want you to get a ballistic expert. Yes, we're going to do that. I think Alan got someone. I need to get the best ballistic expert there is. The judges here are so biased. It can't be a woman. It can't be someone from up north. It has to be a man, preferably white, southern man. He needs to believe in the death penalty. He needs to be the best of the best. The guy who taught the state's guys. He needs to have every reason in the world to want to see me die if I'm guilty, but he has to be honest. As long as he's an honest, racist, southern white expert, I'll be okay. Brian laughed. I can see your point. That's a good idea. We'll look into it. I know someone from the FBI. I think we want to get more than one expert, but let me review your file. Let me see the reports from the state's experts. Let me see what your experts said and did. I need to get up to speed on everything, and then I'll come back to see you, okay? We shook hands and our eyes locked as we said goodbye. He didn't promise me then he was going to get me out of there, but I saw it in his eyes. I saw the promise that he would make later. It was a promise I would hold on to through a lot of dark nights. The guard brought me back to my cell, and as soon as the door shut behind me, I dropped to my knees. I folded my hands and bowed my head. Thank you, God. Thank you for sending Brian Stevenson. I trust things to happen in your time, so I'm not going to ask you why you didn't send him earlier. Please, God, watch over Brian Stevenson. Take care of him, because he's doing your work. God, bless the men on death row. Bless my mom, and please put hope in her heart that her baby's coming home. I'm going to tell her you sent your best lawyer to me. God, please keep her in good health. Please, God, let the truth come out. Thank you. God, I know you're sent your best lawyer, and I know you will reopen my case. I finished my prayer just as the first sob broke loose from my chest. I spent the next 2 hours on my knees sobbing like a baby. Some nights are just made for crying.